Hey guys, well today it's French onion soup day and I found a fantastic recipe. It's an authentic French recipe and the best thing about it, it's only got 5 ingredients if you don't count the water, salt and pepper. Now if you've got a crock pot, whack that on the stove. I'll just be doing it in a saucepan today, but it's a super easy recipe. You guys are going to love it. Let's start making it.
This is Greg's Kitchen.
So these are all the ingredients I'm using. I've just got about 4 or 5 onions, plain flour, some white wine. This one's a Chardonnay, but you can use whichever one you want. I just bought the cheapest one. It was only $3. Some Gruyere cheese. I think it's pronounced Gruyere, but if I'm saying it wrong, I do apologise. If you know how to pronounce it, please spell it spell it down below for us. And of course, some butter. It is a French soup and the French do love butter. I must be part French, that means. Anyway, let's start cooking it. Now there's only one thing I need to cut up and that's these onions. I will be slicing them into nice thin slices. Now if you've got a machine to do it, half your luck. Unfortunately, my food processor just broke, so I'm gonna have to do it by hand. So anyway, by the magic of YouTube, that's done. My eyes are watering like crazy. Anyway, let's start doing this. So into a nice deep saucepan, I've just got it on a low heat and I'll start it on a low heat because I want to melt this butter. And you want the temperature low, otherwise you throw the butter in and it starts burning. So we'll just gently melt this. And now once the butter's melted, we'll throw in our onions. Now this is a bit of a... Whoops, don't know what happened then. Anyway, I was just about to say, this is a bit of a time-consuming part because we need to saute these onions until they're golden brown. And it can take up to about 25 minutes for that to happen. So we'll have to just keep stirring them constantly, coming back, checking on them, making sure that they're not burning or anything. So we'll saute these now until they're nice and brown. And it will take about 25 minutes. So we might have to do some magic of YouTube on this. Right, well it's been about the 25-minute mark and you can see the onions, they look absolutely beautiful. This kitchen smells amazing. Butter and onions is one of those fantastic smells. But that's the perfect colour, nice and golden brown. And by the way, the amount of butter I used in that was absolutely heaps. It was about 80 grams worth, so there's quite a bit, some big chunks of butter in there. So use about between 60 and 80-ish grams. Now the temperature I had this on, by the way, was a medium heat. So it was just cooking beautifully and slowly. But anyway, now what we need to do is we add about 50 grams worth of flour into here. Just a couple of spoons worth. That was 3 spoons worth I used then. And we just mix this all together for about 2 minutes. We want that flour to soak up the butter and coat the onions. Okay, so after a couple of minutes, what we need to do now is we'll add 2 litres of water. What's 2 litres? About half a gallon, I guess. This is cold water, so don't use hot water, just use cold. I better turn the heat up on this because we need to bring this to the boil. Now it's also time to add about a glass worth of white wine, 200 mils. Stir this all around and I'll scrape off all those bits off the bottom. Now I'll add some salt now. I'll have to add some later once I do a bit of a taste test. So I'll put some in now. And also I'll crack some beautiful pepper into there as well. Oh, and the cheese as well. We also need to add some of this cheese. It's about 50 grams worth. So I'll just break this up and put this in. Now this cheese, I'll tell you what, it is super expensive. Ooh, it's like 60 something bucks a kilo, so you'll only want to buy as much as you need because it can cost quite a bit. So I'll put that in. Now we just let this get to the boil. Rightio, so now once that started boiling, I'll reduce the heat down to a simmer and you can either put the lid on. I think I'll leave the lid off just so it reduces a bit more because that's a lot of water I put in there. So I'll just let that try and reduce a bit. So now once we've done that, what you need to do is just let it sit and simmer away. I'm going to let that simmer away uncovered for about 45 minutes to an hour. I really want it to reduce down quite a bit. to get those flavours all soupy and Frenchy. So once I think it's ready, I'll come back. In the meantime, I will just come back and stir it occasionally, making sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. Alright, well it's been about an hour and I tell you what, this kitchen smells exactly like French onion dip. The smell is uncanny and you can't forget that smell. It just smells absolutely delicious. So, here's the soup. How about we plate it up and we'll tuck on in for the taste test. Alright, here it is. This white stuff on top is the cheese that I threw in there, so that's melted nicely. Actually took quite a while for it to melt, so about the hour mark was just about spot on. So, let's serve some up. It smells so good. Wow, it really does just smell like French onion dip. Anyway, loaded full of onions, fantastic. Lots of butter floating on top too. Oh yeah. Anyway, let's go. Oh wow. Oh boy. Oh, that's some real French cuisine right there. Oh, thanks to everyone that sponsored me on Patreon. It was because of you I could actually afford to make this dish. That cheese doesn't come cheap, so thank you very much. Hope to see you again soon. Remember to click subscribe and thumb this video up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Greg's Kitchen.
Ooh yeah, this is Greg's Kitchen, where the food is pink and licking. Ooh yeah.
Rightio, so I've warmed up this frying pan. It's on quite a sort of a low heat because first of all we need to melt the butter. I don't want it burning. Oh, but it is! Ah.